This is my friend Julia. This is my mother and my grandfather. This is my father, my sister, and my grandmother. And today I'm going to talk about cloud seeding. This presentation is about the effects, pros, and cons of cloud seeding. Cloud seeding is a controversy that is not talked about a lot. It is not the first topic mentioned when it comes to the environment. Right now we're going to talk about history. In 1946, a chemist named Vincent Schaeffer pioneers cloud seeding. In the 50s and the 60s, experimentation graduates. Silver iodine replaces dry ice as a primary substance, and the U.S. uses cloud seeding as a defense mechanism during war. In the 70s, Environmental Protection Agency's landmark for Clean Water Act identifies silver iodine as a toxic substance. In the 80s, in 1998, the American Meteorological Association releases a report stating cloud seeding should be researched more. From 2003 and 2009, this subject was touched on again, and China is the world leader in usage of technology, is spending $100 million on increased rainfall for drought in stricken parts of the country. Environmental concern for cloud seeding is a not well-known controversy. Cloud seeding is not the first mentioned topic for environmental concerns to the public, leaving the public uninformed. In the sources, cloud seeding in the UAE research paper and the weather climate modification will touch down on what cloud seeding is. Cloud seeding is a chemical dispersed onto the clouds. What it does, it condenses water vapor into rain. The three types of cloud seeding is hygroscopic, static, and dynamic. Benefits of cloud seeding: creates rain where it is needed. Agricultural farmers produce more crops and better quality crops, allows groundwater in the ecosystem to recharge. Demonstrating the biological effect of cloud seeding, scientists use paleoecological records to predict climate change and also to predict biographical response to climate change. The lack of information dating in glacial and interglacial and proglacial times that has scientists using fossil records to determine biological results from climatic change on a global scale. The prediction of biological responses is on a small scale. Because of this, the use of agricultural experiments are more used than experiments on a larger scale. The changes in degrees from 3 to 4 degrees is normal, but anything more than that due to cloud seeding can cause issues in ecological. It can cause issues on a biological level, meaning the species in each population could be replaced or decreased. What hygroscopic cloud seeding is: the tendency to absorb water moisture from the air. And for static and dynamic cloud seeding, they're very similar. They both use silver iodine, but for static, it does not involve any air motion, and for dynamic, it involves vertical air motion, and it is used by the process of boosting vertical air currents. I'm having issues with my PowerPoint here.
Apes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. We on?
Yep. 1 second. Just had a technical difficulty.
Okay.
Climatic predictions and the effects of continuous and showery precipitation.
Strategically
For this source, it is a thesis paper talking about the convection and convergence clouds. Convection clouds respond to rising, sinking motions, and vertical motions are less rapid. Convergence clouds responds to an ascending motion, generally in regions of low pressure. The lifting process that is associated with the weather conditions depends on moisture for precipitation. So as you can see here in this diagram, it starts at vapor. We're going to start at vapor where the source is, and then it goes up to excess vapor, and then it goes to small particles, which is the ice nucleation starts. And then once the ice nucleation starts, it goes into large particles, and then that is precipitation, and it starts the cycle over again. And the problem with this is that this can then continue on to geographical regions that don't need precipitation, and that is an issue. As you can see here, there is a diagram showing the flares on the right hand side for silver iodine, and on the bottom here it shows another picture of someone installing the flares on the wing, and this is called aerial cloud seeding. And for ground cloud seeding, what they do is they install a station on the ground, and it shoots the iodine into the cloud. The positive factors for cloud seeding are immense compared to negative factors. Cloud seeding can increase snow and new rain and snow, and new techniques make it a lot more effective podcast. And to what extent can cirrus cloud seeding counteract global warming research letter? These two sources will talk about the pros of cloud seeding. So Deanne is a researcher at the University of North Dakota, and she talks about the high hail damage in North Dakota, and they use cloud seeding as a mechanism to soften the impact. In respect to the second source, counteracting global warming, they use geoengineering with clouds, with the cirrus clouds in the ocean layer. As a result, there is a decrease in temperature, precipitation, and CO2 damage reduction. The trace chemical evaluation of cloud seeding in the Payette Basin, and is cloud seeding a smart means of drought relief? These two sources will talk about the cons of cloud seeding. So for trace chemistry and silver iodine, in respect to the first source, it talks about silver toxicity in local areas results in anthropogenic releases, and this can happen in photographic industries, in areas of urban refuse combustion and sewage treatment. Silver toxicity is hard to measure in water because it is very present in low concentrations. This means it is difficult to quantify a toxicity level. Cons in respect to the second source, for the people who are against cloud seeding, there's a lack of fully understanding weather modification, which is true, and the Environmental Protection Agency's Clean Water Act. Evaluation of extrapolation schemes for the growth or decay of rain in applications talks about experiments that are high complexity and are hard to do because between the dynamics and microphysics, the interactions are difficult to measure. So once the cloud seeding starts, there's not really you can't really measure how much precipitation you're going to get after that, and that's the issue. The potential to cool climates, provide water for crops, and water for geographical places in need can be proven. Cirrus cloud seeding has the potential to cool climate. This is a title of a thesis statement by 6 scientists. Cirrus cloud specifically can cool the planet. So cirrus cloud is actually the major cloud, and it actually controls a lot of the planet's temperature. So when the cirrus cloud is warm, it tends to be a little warmer. And what the scientists are saying is that once this cloud is in ice nucleation, it has the potential to combat global warming. And the hypothesis was tested, as I've stated as one of my sources before. Higher cloud seeding will conduct a deleting effect of prolonging cirrus clouds. The seeding particle must be in optimal range. So what I mean by this statement is that the amount of silver iodine that is used for cloud seeding is well below the concentration levels for toxicity. Cloud seeding can be a positive advocate for the environment and against. There are inventions like cloud seeding. Cloud seeding has the ability to change global warming and combat against ecological issues. And this is the audience again. And this is my mother and grandfather. And this is my sister, my father, and my grandmother.